So, over the past couple of weeks, there's been some very shocking news that has been coming out where there's a chance that China could potentially control the United States. And I want to address what is going on here because my guess is you didn't even see this coming. Right now, there's three main superpowers in this world. There's the United States, there's China, and there's Russia. Depending on who you ask, the US could be first, China could be second, Russia could be third, or it could be flipped around in any way. Now, experts are worried that the United States is so focused on Russia and the Ukraine, especially at this moment, that they say we are not seeing what could be going on with China. And China is the biggest threat. Now, what is going on? Well, here's what I can tell you. Right now, what is currently going on in Ukraine is bringing up a lot of discussions that China could soon control the United States. However, their control will be different from what you're probably expecting. We know right now that world economists, they predict that lockdowns in China, the war in Ukraine, the fact that China's economy is stalling, all of these things could lead China to help Russia, even in a small way, with their war on Ukraine. And if they do that, experts believe that what's going to happen is, again, according to reports, that China believes that if the United States is pulling away from them because of the pandemic that China is still in, and even though I guess technically here in the US we're still in this pandemic, but what experts believe is what is going to happen if China feels that our economy is much stronger and China is at the risk of a recession, they're going to do whatever they can to make sure they hold the United States back. They will control us. But I want you to think about this. If China is worried about their economy, they will not want the United States economy flourishing. Absolutely not. And combining that, okay, with other things like China's lockdowns right now are causing so many issues for them. It's hurting us here in the US. It's hurting other countries as well. But what could also hurt the United States? China combining with another world power would put more stress on the United States. This would slow us down. I said there's three world powers: United States, China, and Russia. Guess what? China is more than capable of helping out Russia. China is willing to help out Russia. So that's not a problem. But what's shocking about everything that's going on, there's reports that China is not just looking to help out Russia, but they're looking into ways to protect their assets. Okay? And it's not just for what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. China's looking into ways to protect their assets in the event that they either attack Taiwan and other countries, including the US, decide to sanction them just like we did with Russia. But what if China helps out Russia? China wants to make sure that they are protecting their assets. Because I can guarantee you what Russia did, trying to get out of the US dollar, okay, trying to sell a lot of their assets before all this invasion happened, this saved Russia, okay? And so that's a huge issue. And so some are looking at the war between Russia and Ukraine as, is this what China's seeing? Is China seeing the faults that Russia has? Are they seeing the issues that they're facing? And are they trying to prepare just in case something like this happens? The answer is most likely yes. According to multiple reports, just this weekend, U.S. officials had talks with U.K. officials over the Chinese threat to Taiwan. And Taiwan's foreign minister says that they are prepared to protect themselves against China. However, Pentagon officials say that their lack of military power would do very little. Just to give you an idea of the size difference in military, China has right about 3.3 to 3.4 million active and reserve troops. Taiwan has about 170,000 troops. That's it. 170,000 troops. Not a lot. Now, For those of you that are wondering why the U.S. would not want Taiwan to be part of China if China does try to overtake them. Well, the United States does support independence, obviously, but at the same time, we understand that if Taiwan is controlled by China, then it would actually put the U.S. in a very tough spot because we are heavily reliant on Chinese goods. Just to give you an idea, in 2020, the United States, we imported from China about 18.6% of our goods. That's $434.7 billion worth of goods. We imported about 2.6% of overall imports from Taiwan. This included electrical machinery of about $19 billion, machinery in general, which is about $18 billion, vehicles, about $2.9 billion, iron and steel products, about $2.6 billion, and plastics, about $2.2 billion, as well as many other products as well. So, do you see how China could control the United States? They won't be changing our form of government. They're not going to be replacing President Biden. They won't be taking over our military, but they could easily control what products we get, when we get them, and how much we pay for them. Now, all those changes would effectively have them controlling our economic growth for decades. This is the big change. This is what's so shocking is that our lawmakers have been pushing for more dependence. We need to be dependent. We need to be reliant on our own products, our own goods, and everything here within our borders. Not be reliant on China or other countries. Well, this is the problem. That if China controls Taiwan, then more than 20% of our imports are coming from China. These are numbers coming from 2020. My expectation is these numbers are actually a little bit higher for 2022. But again, we haven't got the most updated numbers lately. Now, this is why more and more lawmakers say that we must move away from Chinese dependency and manufacture more products here in the U.S. But in order for them to do that, these lawmakers say we also must require Congress to ease up on taxing American manufacturers in order to get more companies to come back to the U.S. and keep their prices relatively low. So, what's shocking about all this stuff is China has the ability to control the United States. Now, yes, we do export products over to China. Granted, it's not a huge amount. Okay, it's a good amount of our GDP, but at the same time, we bring in so much from China. Some are saying that we have to do something, and we need to do that now. But here's why you don't see this. You don't see all these talks on China because China's in a lockdown. Nobody really cares. Okay? Nobody really cares what China's doing right now because they're locked down. But once people start traveling, once China's economy is booming again, people are going to care. But that time could be too late. So, some experts say that we will not see it coming. This is why we have to make these changes now. So, we will see if lawmakers actually make any changes. We will see if we are going to be more dependent on ourselves or we're going to be reliant on Chinese goods. But as of right now, according to many world economists, China has the power to not just control the United States, but control a lot of countries because of the goods that they produce. So, we'll see what happens moving forward, but just wanted to fill you in on this little warning and what is going on because I guarantee you probably haven't seen this on the news because nobody's really talking about it. Everybody's talking about COVID, talking about the upcoming midterm elections, or they're talking about the war between Russia and Ukraine. That's about it. So, as always, as I know more, I promise, I'll come back and share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.